Yeah, so an average employee loses about 2 to 3 hours every week because of stress related to somewhat family on some form of substance abuse and addiction. Now, for a company of 1,000 people, that's over 100,000 hours of productivity that are lost quietly. Okay, so and this is not because the employee is using drugs. No, it's because someone that they love is the one who's using drugs. Okay, so today I just want to show us how addiction in the home is silently sabotaging your workplace, and how you can intervene before it's too late. Okay, so I want to give you a framework that protects your people, your productivity, and your reputation as an organization. Okay, so let me just tell you like a story. So there's a man, let's just call him John. So I was working with John the other day, and he was a mid-level manager and at a financial institution, at a bank, okay, somewhere here in Harare. Okay, so this guy was brilliant. He was punctual and he was respected by everyone. Okay, he and but over a few months of working like this, his performance just started to tank, right? And he started missing deadlines. He would snap at colleagues. He started, showing up late, for meetings. Okay, so HR looks at this, and then they flag him for burnout because this guy was a maniac. This guy was working so hard. Flag him for burnout, and what do they do? Of course, they send him to the wellness program in the financial institution. Okay, but the truth was, what was actually happening with John was his 17-year-old son who had been to rehab before, had relapsed to crystal meth, to Mutoriro. Okay, and so Tendai, let's call him John. John was living in a war zone at home. Sleepless nights, stolen money, stolen property, like a whole TV is stolen, is sold for $20. And in the mornings he would wake up, take a shower, go to work, show up at work, pretend as if everything is fine. Okay, and that is what we call functional collapse. Okay, this is when an employee still shows up at work, but their soul is gone. Okay, I'm just checking out my cheat sheets over here. The soul is gone, and here's a tragedy. Here is the tragedy. Okay, a lot of companies now have these wellness programs at work, but then most wellness programs, they don't touch on this. They offer gym membership. You get a gym membership at work. You have a mental health app, and maybe you've got a workshop on stress. At work, but nobody's going to ask you who's hurting you at home. Who's hurting in your home? Nobody asks that question. We just think, okay, it's burnout. You're working too hard. Take the weekend off. Here's an app, with the exercises. Yeah. So because of that, we've also created our own care program. Okay, it's not just for the employee; it's for the whole ecosystem. It's not just the employee must get it, but it's actually the employee and his people, and fellow employees and people at home. It's the whole ecosystem. Okay, so we coach parents, guardians, and siblings of those who are at risk. And we offer prevention tools, recovery support, and referral pathways. Okay, and it works, right? So, for an example, our pilot program, like when we first started, absenteeism dropped by 25%. Okay, the workplace errors dropped by 20%, and most importantly, families began to heal. They actually began to get better and better. Okay. Now, the reason for this is because, addiction does not just affect the person who's using the substances or the drugs, okay? It affects the ones who love him, okay? So that's the other thing about addiction. It's not a one-man sport. Eventually, the whole family has to play. So here's my challenge for you. If you are an HR manager, if you are an employer, if you're a church leader, if you're a caregiver, do not wait for the crisis. Don't wait for the crisis to happen, okay? Do not wait for the resignation letter, okay? Do not wait for the overdose. Okay, ask your people, is someone you love struggling with substance abuse? Okay, now, again, after you ask that, you don't want to, you have to give them more than just pity. Oh, so sorry you're going through this. Oh, you know, offer more than that. We've got to offer a strategy. What next? How do we navigate this? How do we move forward together? Okay. Now, that's because when you heal the home, you also, restore the workplace. And that's not just good business, it's actually good leadership. Okay. So, folks, everyone needs to know this. Even though you've got a wellness program at work, sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes you're not well equipped. Okay. An app is nice, it's good, it helps. But sometimes you need more than an app. Sometimes you need this human touch of asking, dude, or my friend, what's happening? Is there anyone who is struggling in your home? Okay, when we do this, we somehow get better. My name is Brian Malipa, and I am the founder of Tove Nation, a Center for Addiction and Recovery Support, where we help people to overcome their addictions and prevent relapse long term. So if you're a business owner, if you're working in HR, and you've seen productivity has tanked, and your people are not lazy. Sometimes you can blame people to be lazy. So in some cases, most cases, people are not lazy. They're just being affected by something that is happening at home. If this is you, then our process group for companies is the right choice for you. Okay? My name is Brian Malipa on 0783 627742. One more time, 0783 627742. Good afternoon.